Hello, I'm Matt Galloway, and this is The Current Podcast. We have a rowdy crowd of people who woke up dark and early to get here this morning wearing jerseys from many different soccer nations, and we'll talk about those jerseys and those nations coming up. We are celebrating soccer in Canada, how fans are showing up for their teams during the World Cup. You can see Bosnia here. You can see Ghana. You can see Germany. A lot of Canada. We have Colombia. The list goes on and on. We'll get to more of you in a moment. Oh, there's Mexico. A big win yesterday for Mexico as well. One of the great things about this city is that there are any number of countries and players that people cheer for, and that, as I said, you can see the same house or the same car with different flags because people have mixed up identities and they want to cheer for as many different communities as possible. This is something our first guest has seen firsthand, living in the west end of the city. Please welcome our musical guest for this morning, Shad.
Thank you.
It feels like the city went kind of from 0 to 100 in the last couple of days when it comes to the World Cup, right? Like jerseys everywhere.
Yeah, and to your last point, I get very Pan-African in the World Cup. It's whoever's still around, yeah.
What does it look like in your neighborhood right now?
I'm seeing the flags. I'm seeing all kinds of different flags going on. Portuguese flags is very Portuguese neighborhood, so Brazil also represented. Yeah, it's beautiful to watch.
For people who are coming to the city, and a lot of people will come to the city for the very first time, what do they need to know about Toronto in 2026?
Okay, the way I always illustrate how multicultural Toronto is I explain that if you go up Dundas into a neighborhood called the Junction, you'll reach Little Malta. Okay? There's a Malta Park. Okay, it's a Maltese neighborhood. Big Malta has about 500,000 or 600,000 people. So to have a little Malta, that's how you know everyone's represented. Not to mention, I'm Rwandan, and we're a tiny country, and we got a sizable Rwandan community here. So Toronto is truly, truly multicultural in the sense that everyone is here represented well.
Let me just ask you finally, before we get to some music, why does something like this matter? I mean, sports is, I was saying, people are looking for something good. Sports can be this big collective thing. You see it when the Raptors won, you see it in New York right now with the Knicks, you see it with the Toronto Tempo, you saw it when the Jays were in the World Series. What does sport mean?
It is magical, real drama. Not the scripted reality TV. This is real reality TV. My wife always makes fun of me. About half of the times that she's seen me cry has been at a sporting event. Like it is just this real and healthy place to let out emotion and a way for people to get together. So I love it. I've learned so many life lessons through sports as well. It's just a beautiful thing.
We'll talk more about that coming up. In the meantime, here's some music. This is Shad and his tune, Rain.
All right. Yes. Fear of death, and we're scared to live. Real fear matched with fake arrogance. Naysayers and wayfarers can be one take. I take care of it. Some of y'all ain't serious. This isn't hockey, so I do not play, period. Underground legend, my name's Harriet. Word of my seeds will be trees after they bury us. Knocking on wood. I learned the script and I went off the book. Came off the head and I spit off the hook. Went in my bag and saw I got the goods. Ayy. Saw the strange visions lead to brave missions. I'm the same, different, haven't changed. Always been lane switching, gripping grain, whipping, playing Mario Kart with the game system. It's still a slave system, held in supply chains. Listen, Sterling still richer than Blake Griffin. When I say the rain spitting, don't need to rain like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to rain like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to rain like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to rain like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. We're all waterborne, and in my body, a water formed. And I would swim inside it, feel the water warm. Then I started drowning like it's waterboard. Fear in the water war, when it rained inside, let the water pour out. Ocean got absorbed, I released the recordings and brought the storm clouds. See how the rain drops, yeah. And this is off the top, yeah. I do it for the current on the CBC. This is me, this is not watching DVD. Yeah, throw back like it's TBT. And we rocking like this, check it out. Don't need to rain like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to reign like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to reign like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to reign like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Ocean within, that can sustain or destroy you. Ocean within, that can sustain or destroy you. Ocean within, that can sustain or destroy you. Yeah. Yeah. Don't need to reign like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Don't need to reign like a royal, we just need rain on the soil. Thank you.
Reggie Laria is the brother of Team Canada defender Richie Laria. Chris Chrysanthu was a youth coach for Tejon Buchanan and remains a close friend and personal mentor. And Greg Spagnoli is a legendary high school coach from Brampton who coached 3 of the current Team Canada members, Tejon Buchanan, Kyle Laren, and Jonathan Osorio. And they are all with us here on the stage in the atrium. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greg, almost half the players on this team are from the GTA. You coached 3 of them from one high school in Brampton. What is going on in Brampton?
There's something in the water.
Seriously?
I'm not quite sure. We've kind of gone over this conversation multiple times since Qatar 4 years ago, and there seems to be just a rich cultural diversity of athletes that are coming into to not only Peel but Brampton itself. And soccer's a global game, and when you get a lot of immigrant families and cultures with a diversity such as we have in Brampton, I think you have that commonality and that inclusion of representing something that means a lot to them in their culture. And when you have a chance to share that gift with people that have that same sort of interest, I think it just breeds opportunity for success, and it's demonstrated that coming out of Brampton.
Reggie, does that sound familiar? You grew up playing with your brother at the Toronto Uruguay Soccer Club.
Yeah, the team was also like you said, full of immigrants and just coming together and playing the beautiful game, and it was amazing. There's so much talent in Ontario that I'm happy that it's going to be shown on the biggest stage, and yeah, it's good.
What is it about the game that brings people together, do you think?
I think, it's just amazing, like the drama, the underdog stories, everyone coming together, cheering for like common goal to win, and yeah, it's beautiful to watch.
Chris, we have seen the women's team do exceptionally well in this country, and now the men are on the come up as well. What explains that, do you think? That for a while it seemed as though the men were operating in the shadow of a very successful women's national soccer team?
Well, I think Canada has always been more female inclusive than many other countries. Probably not as far as we should be. Speaking with a friend this morning, and we don't talk about Helen Stumbos scoring the first ever World Cup goal for Canada. We talk about Alphonso Davies, which is fantastic, but there was a female history before that. And I think it took some time for the men's program to really start to believe that it was possible. The world was so far more advanced than Canada was. It just took more investment, more time, more patience to get the men's game to where it needs to be.
Is your sense that belief exists now through the team?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that this team believes that they can go a lot farther than any of us here in the audience believe.
Really?
I do.
That's exciting. Greg, did you know, when you were coaching these young players, did you know how good they were in the moment? Did you know that at some point in time, maybe there was the possibility that they could get to the biggest stage in this game?
Well, I mean, development can go many different ways, but I think early in high school, they demonstrated a maturity and understanding of the game that I think was a little bit more advanced than some of their peers.
What did you see?
Just their understanding, the way they move off the ball, just how to play the ball, getting into spaces, making good decisions, small things that typically is part of the development process, especially in grade 9 and 10. And as they entered into their 11 and 12 years, you can see that there is really kind of honing their skills. And really showcasing that they're a little bit more advanced and ahead of the game than some of their teammates.
What is it like as a coach? Are there things that you want to encourage? Do you also just want to get out of the way and let them kind of do their thing?
Well, I think providing just a platform and a space for them to just work on what they can do in a non-structured environment helps them flourish, to just try things and not have to worry about consequence. And so that kind of high school format provides that opportunity. And when you can see them getting more and more comfortable, they become more and more confident. And then eventually that just translates into the game.
Reggie, when did you know that your brother, Richie, was really good?
Probably at the age of 8, I would say. We went to a tournament in Windsor, and in the first game he scored like 4 goals, and then at the end of it he got like MVP of the tournament. I always knew he was going to do special things.
What is it like to watch that?
It's surreal. I'm very proud. Like everything he's done, like a lot of people telling him that he was probably too small not to make it, and he kept pushing and fighting, and he ended up doing it.
It's incredible to think that he's going to be playing in the World Cup.
It's amazing, and
like it's an amazing thing. He's your brother.
Yeah. And it's not even his first one, too. This is his second. A lot of people dream to even go to one, and he's going to be playing in 2.
But at home, on home soil, is incredible.
Yeah, a lot. It's going to be a lot of family and friends cheering him on. I've been talking to him too. He's really happy. A bit of nerves, but he just can't wait.
But what about that confidence that Greg was talking about and Chris was talking about? Do they have that sense of confidence there?
Oh, yeah. The national team, I feel like they're very united. It's like a brotherhood, and I think they're willing to honestly die on that field for each other, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Chris, you've also seen these players develop, and Tajon Buchanan is one of them. Did you know from the beginning that he had it?
No. I mean, so, you put it in perspective, and so many parents and so many players and so many coaches, they put so much emphasis on what team the kid is playing on when they're young. I mean, Tajon was 12 years old, and he was still playing on a B team. It wasn't until he was 13 years old that he went to an A team. And then at 15, he wasn't allowed to play anymore when we moved to the U.S. So he didn't get a lot of opportunities. He didn't play on any, big teams, but he believed in what he was capable of. He did the work. He put in the effort. And too many times we put too much pressure on these children at 7, 8, 9 years old. And there's this, my kid has to belong and they need this extra training. No, the player has to have the mentality. And the one thing that's different about the players that make it pro and the ones that don't, it's not about the skill set. It's not about the hours. They all do that. Yeah. It's about the mindset. It's about that unconditional belief in yourself that no one can say no to you. And I have experienced some incredible moments with Tajon from the time he was 11 years old to the time he was 15 years old to the time he was 18 years old, when he didn't have a single scholarship offer and he said, I'm going to Syracuse.
Yeah. That's a good lesson for parents and coaches as well, but also for young players who have been told you may or may not do this, right? If you believe in yourself, that's really powerful.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. What do you think, Greg, it's going to be like this afternoon in those stands, in that stadium, which is built and built and built? It started as a small thing, and now there's these temporary, towering stadium seats. What do you think it's going to be like?
I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be an atmosphere that we've never seen before in Toronto. I mean, I tend to see matches regularly, but it's going to pale in comparison to the energy. We hope, fingers crossed, and no offense to anybody here, that it's a pro-Canada crowd. So
we'll get to that in a moment.
It's Canada's such a diverse, country, especially in Toronto, and to play in Toronto, sometimes it could be deemed as an away match depending on who you're playing. So we're hopeful and we're mindful that hopefully they'll bring the energy and really support and be that 12th man on the pitch.
Reggie, how many times did you ask your brother for tickets, and how many tickets did you ask for? It's an expensive ticket, man. A lot of people can't get these.
I asked him for 2, but I knew it was gonna be hard because these tickets are really, really pricey. But he came through, and thankfully I can go.
It's going to be a special moment, and the relationships that you all have with these players is quite something. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Reggie Laramie is the brother of Team Canada defender Richie Laramie. Chris Chrysanthu is a youth coach for Tejon Buchanan, close friend and personal mentor, and Greg Spagnoli, legendary high school coach from Brampton, who coached a number of the Team Canada members. This is going to be a big game, and Canada, yes, will have the crowd behind them, but is going to have some tough competition today when they take on Team Bosnia-Herzegovina. For a lot of people in the Toronto area, loyalties may be divided. Who knows? We have time to say hello to somebody in the audience who knows all about that. Amina Capo is General Director of the Bosnian Canadian Association. And we should say, for those who are listening, dressed in a Bosnian strip, but with a Canadian flag tucked in. How do you feel going into this match?
Absolutely surreal to watch my 2 home countries play each other in the opening match today. It's something I honestly can't describe in words. I can't even believe that it's real and that we've got here today. I cannot wait for this game.
I saw the other day an open-top bus full of Bosnian fans cruising around up near Casa Loma.
Yes, you did.
They were going off.
Those are the players' families.
They were having fun.
Yeah.
Tell me about this team and what makes the team special.
This team is really special because majority of these young men have been born in the diaspora, and they chose to play for Bosnia outside of the countries that, they also call home, just like I call Bosnia and Canada home. There's a determination and a perseverance and belief in them that I have not seen in the Bosnian team since I was born.
Knocking off Italy is no small thing.
No, sir.
And there's a lot of people in this city that perhaps thought Italy would just roll right over. That would be it.
I see the advertisements everywhere, but Italy's not in the World Cup.
Italy is not
correct.
Italy is not in the World Cup, with some regrets for Italian friends and fans.
I love my Italians, though. Don't get twisted.
What do you think it's going to be like? This is a game on home Canadian soil, and yet, to your point,
it's going to be a Bosnia home game. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love Canada, but the way the Bosnians have flooded the city in the last couple of days, Canada is about to see something they have never seen. But I will also add to that, we call ourselves the Bosnian Canadian Association for a reason, because we are proud of both of our countries.
Very nice. I was going to say there was a little bit of tension in the room before you said that last point. There's a lot of people with Canadian jerseys who are like, really? Yes. You feel good about your chances?
I do. My ideal situation is a 1-1 tie, so we both get a point. And then we both beat Switzerland and Qatar and finish first and second. That's ideal. But I'm going to be very honest with you, with the backing of the European fan style, y'all ain't ready.
She threw down a marker. There you go. That's Amina Capo, General Director of the Bosnian Canadian Association, soccer superfan. Give her a round of applause.
Repping everywhere I go. Million people at your door. This is where we calling home. Yeah, I'm from the depths of Scarborough. One way's a Bond Road. Apartments in Flemington. Shadows in the P.O. Every area repping the home team. My Italians hold me down. Africans, same thing. Portuguese.
Live on stage, a man who needs no introduction, especially with that music. Mr. International T-Dot Ambassador. Please say hello to Toronto's own Cardinal Official.
I was going to say, as I limbo into the chair, or at least a poor attempt at limboing. How's everybody doing? Good.
You have repped this city from one end of the planet to another, and the world is now here. It's going to be paying attention to this country and to this town. If somebody is paying attention to Toronto for the very first time, coming here for the very first time, what do you think they need to know about Toronto in 2026?
Oh man, that is such a difficult question. You know what's incredible about this city, and I tell people all the time, if you want to experience the entire globe, you come to Toronto. That's what Toronto is. People don't understand, like, when you go to other cities, there is maybe one awesome thing that's really dope about that city or something that you look for. Like, I just had a pretty significant birthday the other day, and we went to Japan, we went to Tokyo. But when you go to Tokyo, it's Tokyo stuff, like, and that's it. And that's amazing. But when you come here, you can experience Mexico, you can experience Ireland, you can experience Jamaica, you can experience all the cultures from around the world while still retaining like this amazingly unique energy, which is Toronto, which is everything working together and for the most part living in a great harmonious way. And that's been my experience my entire life living in this city.
Do you think it's something that's worth a round of applause? Do you think it's something we take for granted in this city in some ways?
You know what? I don't know if we take it for granted. What's interesting is that I think the city is evolving at a rapid pace. I think the country is, but the city, it feels like the evolution might be happening faster than the culture is keeping up. So what's happening right now, I think it's a very interesting time where we are navigating a lot of things happening like full impact. And I think what's dope about this is that we are able to take a breather for the next 2 months and really just enjoy all of it happening in real time, because what's happening is we have so many things that are occurring within this city and this country, you know what I mean? Between politics, between economics, it's rough on a lot of Torontonians right now, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the cost of living and all the rest of that. I think what's amazing is that soccer or football, depending on where you're from, is allowing us to have a little bit of a breather and focus on the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? Cheer on our team, enjoy the magic, and I think that's super necessary for Toronto.
What's been really interesting is when you started out, there were a lot of people who felt like they needed to pretend they were from somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? You're making music and you need to sound like you're from New York or what have you, and that's not the story anymore, and you have helped lead that. You have helped spearhead that change so that we can feel, it's not like chest out and we're swaggering, but we can feel good about being from here, about being from Canada, and about being from this city.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, but, you know, I kind of glamorize it now, but people don't understand, like, how much it felt like the world throwing tomatoes at me while I was, like, going out and trying to promote Canada. I'd be like, you know, in Dallas, Texas, and they're like, "You're from Canada?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, you guys have that purple dinosaur on your basketball team?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna win the championship one day." And they're like, "Oh, sure you are." So what I love though is like a lot of the things that I've hoped, prayed for, and contributed to have come to pass. You know what I'm saying? It is a very interesting time to where, you know, we could say that we have world champion basketball here, where we can say we don't just have one, but we have, you know, some of the biggest, if not the biggest artists in the entire planet that come from here. Like everything that they used to laugh at me about is literally our reality within 2026. So I think, you know, taking all the mudslinging and everything else that they threw at me, I get to gloat now.
You wonder. And it's not to draw too much attention to your significant birthday, but you wonder whether young Cardi would have believed that would be possible.
I think the young Cardi always believed it, because I think every step along my journey, even including to this very day, it's always been like, I don't think that I really understood the power of manifestation until like a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I think I've manifested everything that I've experienced. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wanted for my city to be on the map. I wanted for me and my friends to like accomplish our dreams. I wanted to, you know, meet some of the most interesting and incredible people, you know, from around the world. And it's funny, you know, shout out to my management team. I have to literally, I'm in the process of creating a new bucket for my bucket list, because I'm like, well, I've met all the people, I've done all the things, and, you know, they're like, Cardi, we want to offer you this, and we'll throw in this, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay, I did it, you know what I mean? So I realize how much of a blessing that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing about Tokyo, I don't know if anybody here has been to Japan before, but it's like, when you go there, it's kind of the complete opposite of North America, to where it's like everything is based on absolute, like, not to say that we're not humble people, but it's like the most humility you've ever seen. It's very thoughtful, and you can go there and really clear your mind. And it's like when I went over there and just thought about all of the things that I have been afforded to experience, I am like incredibly thankful. But I think what it did was also like re-energize and just rejuvenate my desire to think bigger, you know what I'm saying, and dream more.
I'm going to let you go, but the bucket list for a lot of people was hosting a World Cup. What do you think the city is going to be like in the next few weeks? And later today when it kicks off.
Here's what I'll tell you, and here's what you guys don't know. It looks like it's all glamorous because they don't even, the city of Toronto, I don't have accreditation, so I just have to wear my chain so they let me in. But as the music supervisor and consultant for the FIFA Fan Fest, I will tell you that like the energy has been absolutely incredible down there. Yesterday we had a little bit of a thunder and lightning scare, so they had to cut the Mexico game early. But you know what I'm saying? What was it? Oh, manos arriba, manos arriba, manos arriba for all my folks from Mexico and other places that are down there. But the energy is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely insane. And, you know, I'm supposed to be unbiased, but, you know, I wore my red, so hopefully the Canada team will pick up on that. And I'm just so happy that all you guys are down here this morning, you know what I'm saying, sharing the good energy with my good friend. And I will see you guys in downtown Toronto because now is the time. The traffic is horrendous, so let's make it worth it.
Cardinal Official, curating the World Cup fan zone here in Toronto all weekend and repping this city everywhere he goes. Thank you, sir. Good to have you here. We have people who are representing their nations from all across the globe. We see Germany fans that are here. My man who's just here from Iran. We have Mexican fans. We have the Ghanaian crew out here. There's Croatia jerseys there. We have England, France. The list goes on and on and on. And, of course, a lot of Canadian jerseys as well, which is important because Canada takes on Bosnia-Herzegovina this afternoon. Its debut at the World Cup. Who better to talk through that match than two former Team Canada players? Craig Forrest was a keeper for the men's national team through 1988 through 2002. He played in the Premier League in England, led Canada to the Gold Cup in 2000. And Diana Matheson has won 2 Olympic medals representing Canada on the women's national soccer team. She scored that iconic goal, the bronze medal game at the 2012 Olympics, and is the founder of the Northern Super League. Say hello to Diana Matheson and Craig Forrest. Thank you. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Craig, going to start with you. Team Canada taking on Bosnia today. What are we looking at?
Well, we've got 2 teams with high hopes. Obviously, Bosnia, get into a playoff, beating Wales on penalties, and then playing the Italian side. Not expecting, I would expect that they would take on Italians and win on a penalty shootout as well. But they're a tough country, and they love their football, and they are passionate. And there's going to be tens of thousands of them in Toronto, which I absolutely love. I love the fact. I hope there's not that many at the game. But enjoy the fan fest. We see some Bosnian fans here. Welcome. I love it.
Right here, out of 200 people, there's the 2 Bosnian fans are louder than the Canadian fans are, guys. That's our problem. We got anyone going to the game today that hears this on the radio, you got to be louder than those Bosnian fans.
I love it. It's already kicking off. What do you think success looks like for Canada in this tournament, Diana?
You know what? I think we have a fantastic men's national team now that can compete at the world stage.
Catching up with the women?
Catching up with the women, we like to lead by example. Thanks. Getting out of the group and getting into those knockout games. I think, we're getting past the phase before any major tournament where we talk about all the things that can go wrong, how much it cost, how bad traffic is going to be in Toronto. And now we get to play the games today. Yeah. And I think, a goal at home, a result today sets them up really, really well to get out of the group. And I think all of Canada is going to get behind them.
Craig, what does success look like for you? This is not a team that is just here to be here. Do you know what I mean?
I think that we can't, you have to think about the pressures of playing a World Cup at home. And there's very few people who know what that feels like. We don't even know. The players that are going to come out to the pitch today will not know what that feels like. So they're going to have to deal with that. However, a lot of them play at very big clubs, and they've had pressure of playing club football and on the biggest stage. They're used to it. So I think the pressures of that will put them in good stead for this World Cup. But success for me would be obviously getting out of the group. If they don't get out of the group, it'll be an absolute failure. But with 8 out of the 12 groups, third places going through, we should be okay. I had higher hopes a couple of years ago. During Copa America after those performances we saw there, but with the injuries and the players coming back off injuries and some young players and some changes defensively, Alphonso Davies isn't going to be available for a while. We hope he is maybe for the round of 16 or 32 or maybe even Switzerland if we need him really badly. But that's what he's here for. Bombito's another big loss for us. So from that standpoint, I'm confident, but not as confident as I was a couple of years ago. But I'm hoping that the round of 16 and then you're going to eventually meet some team with a ton of quality.
Diana, the neat thing about you is that you are all of these different things at once. Former player and legend as a player, but also now a builder, right? Somebody who is creating and helping to build this game here. What is a tournament like this being held? I mean, it's in Canada, Mexico, and the United States, but we're going to spot like Canada. What does it mean for the game here, do you think? And how does that contribute to the building that you're involved in now?
Yeah, I think, so many intangible and tangible things. I think tangible, we're a pretty new soccer country. It's already the number one team participation sport and growing, but they sell pucks at the Parliament, not soccer balls. We're still catching up, and because of that we don't have enough infrastructure, so we're going to have this huge influx of inspiration and registration behind soccer, but we need more soccer fields, indoor soccer fields, mid-sized stadium, the size we want to play in. We need to invest more in that community infrastructure across Canada. And just capturing the hearts and minds of the next generation. My nephew's 7 years old. I don't think he's listening to this program. I don't think he's going to be a pro athlete. Sorry, Henry. But the Four Nations happened, and he was into hockey. Right now, him and all his friends are into baseball because of the Blue Jays. Coming out of this World Cup, every little kid out there is going to be wanting to kick a soccer ball.
Well, I'm going to go back to that bronze medal goal. There's all sorts of people, young girls who watched you do that, who were like, I want to be her. I want to do that. That's a thing, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
To get things sparked off, right?
Yeah,
winning's everything, and if Canada can do that, then the men's team, and then we're gonna see a big jump. But I'll go back to that question as well. When we see jumps as far as popularity go and fandom and things like that, 2002 under-19 Women's World Cup. I think that was really when Canada sort of found out what Christine Sinclair was all about. Great tournament, blew the sky off with as far as attendance goes. 2007 under-20 World Cup men's we had here, another little step. 2015 full Women's World Cup. So you have these different little steps that make that move, and I think this is going to be a big step, but it's no bigger than those. And I think that we're slowly getting there, but it's these steps that we're going to make in the right direction to make it more popular and more mainstream in Canada.
You said something earlier, Diana, about the traffic. The traffic is terrible. I mean, traffic's terrible in the city all the time, but it's really bad now. That's one of the things that people are complaining about. There's also, it's insanely expensive. Most people can't afford to go to these matches, right? $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. There are concerns around FIFA and its ethics and what it's doing, not just in the United States, but elsewhere. Is it possible to love the World Cup, but also have real concerns about all of those other things and perhaps the body that's helping to organize it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I think for sure. Complicated. I mean, my wife works here in this building, and she works weekends, and summers in Toronto traffic at the best of times. Like she got hit by Indy, and then they'd closed the up and the subway. I think she took 2 hours to get home. So hopefully it's no worse than that. The traffic this weekend.
Do you worry about the ticket price? I mean,
it's part of the Toronto experience for all the visitors out there. You have to experience it. Yeah, ticket prices.
The people are just priced out. People who would love to go. Those young, that next generation can't afford to go.
No, absolutely. And I've got a cousin here in town, been following TFC since they started. Huge men's national team fan, and dad of two just couldn't afford to go. So yes, I think there's lots of things that wasn't right about this tournament. I think to your point, you can believe in both at the same time. There's a couple proud Canadians within FIFA who started to plant seeds to bring this tournament to Canada about 10 years ago. and have somehow made that happen. If you asked me 10 years ago, could we host a Men's World Cup in Canada, I would have laughed and said, you're crazy. And they were ahead of their time to plant those seeds to bring these games to Canada. And I think, again, to your point, once the games start, I do think it's, then it's game time. Then we get to cheer on the red and white, and we all get to rally behind that thing. Do the big issues go away? This is the most political World Cup probably that's ever happened. But also, sports get to rally us behind the flag in the way nothing else does.
Craig, how do you carry two things in your head at the same time? Loving the game, but also worrying about all of the politics, all of the fact that people are priced out of this, that it's we'll wake up, as I said, with a hangover when it's over.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of noise around Russia, a lot of noise around Qatar leading into it. And then when this tournament started, the football sort of took over. But you can't get away from those other stories. They're always going to be part of it. It's the biggest sport in the world. I was out in Vancouver for the FIFA Congress meeting, and I got a little bit of a better feeling about FIFA as far as where the money's going to go. So the auditors that are separate from FIFA were telling everybody where all this money is going to go, and there's some really, really good programs. So the idea is all this money goes back into football and supporting it. And one of the biggest things I like about the 48 World Cup is that, and Victor Montagliani is a big part of that too, and Vancouver boy, Vice President of FIFA and President of CONCACAF, is that it's given the opportunity for smaller countries to really dream big, right? So Curacao, good example, right? Haiti, didn't even play games at home, qualify. So all these other islands, 31 islands in the Caribbean, they're like scouring the earth trying to find out players that are eligible to play for them because that dream is truly alive. They used to play like 10 games in 10 years. Now they're playing 10 games a year. And the Nations League has helped that and boosted it. So it boosts the sport. So there's a lot of good things going on behind the scenes as well. So I don't want to be overly critical with them, but it was a shock when the ticket prices came out. And I felt bad for the true Canadian soccer fans out there that have supported our national team thick and thin and haven't, and you're boxing them out, and it's like we can't do that to them. Now I know a lot of them too. They were in the lottery. There was $88 tickets, so that that would happen too. But you can't box out the working class sports fan, football fan, because that's what built the game in the first place.
Diana, in a word or two, what do you think it's going to be like? That's a really good point. In a word or two, what do you think it's going to be like this afternoon when Canada walks onto that pitch?
Oh, buzzing. I think it's going to be buzzing in the stadium. Buzzing for the anthem. Buzzing when Canada scores their first goal on home soil. And buzzing when we get that result. I cannot wait to feel the energy in the city today.
You both know what it's like to be out there on that pitch. Glad to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Diana Matheson, former member of Team Canada's women's team, founder of the Northern Super League, Canada's professional women's soccer league, and Craig Forrest, member of Team Canada's men's team and sports commentator. We're celebrating soccer in Canada today. That starts with the grassroots. And with me right now, that was what Diana was talking about, building those grassroots. With me now, two of the people behind a wonderful soccer program for newcomers and refugees. It's called the Scarborough Simbas. Mohazama Mataj is a former member of Afghanistan's national women's soccer team. She is the Simbas program director. And Saleh Ali Osman started as a Simbas player, is now a coach. And here with us in the audience, some of the Simbas players. They're there. Thank you both for being here with us this morning. Tell me about the Simbas and what makes your program special.
Yeah, of course. So the Scarborough Simbas is a free recreational soccer program for refugees and newcomers in Scarborough. We started back in 2020 and we had about 30 kids registered in our program. 6 years later, added 0 to that number, and we've been supporting 300 children and youth in the GTA.
We were talking about this earlier. What do you think it is about the sport that creates a feeling of connection and brings people together? There's something special about it, right?
Of course. So football is a global game. So many, as we see, like our program is built of, consists of children and youth from so many different diverse countries across the world. We have at least 25 different countries, like kids from 25 different countries taking part in the program. And I always like to describe it as a family, a community. When you come out to the pitch, you don't just see kids playing on the field. You see families coming together, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, coming to support the kids in the program, having like a whole picnic on the side. So it's just this beautiful family and community feeling that you get when you're on the pitch with the Simbas.
Fabulous. Saleh, you came to Canada. You were 10 years old.
Yes.
You were a refugee from Syria.
That's right.
What did the Simbas mean to you?
I would say Simba means to me unity, because you have all of these people coming from all over the world, people like me who suffered civil war, and it means a lot when these people come here and they live their childhood once again, the childhood every kid deserves to live, and it's very important and very nice to see that. You know, people from Syria, people from Afghanistan, people from Palestine, all over the world. It's very nice to see that unity, and those kids, see the smile on those kids and see they're living their childhood once again.
And now you're a coach, and
yes.
so you're helping to create that sense of community.
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
I mean, at first, when I started, it was really tough because it was the first time I ever do that. But slowly, I start picking up from other coaches, and I learn things I could do to make the kids happy, make them listen to me, become more like a friend than a coach. It's really important, and I just love it. I enjoy it really much, more than playing, to be honest.
And
it's really nice.
How do you see those kids change because of the program that they're in?
I think they change a lot. As I said, some of them come from a background that I came from, and they see terrible stuff. Coming to Canada and joining such a program, it's amazing. You could see the smile on their face, how happy they are just to enjoy the game. I mean, soccer is a world game. It's one of the best sports in the world that attract kids, especially. And it's really nice to see them playing and, really happy.
Who are you cheering for in the World Cup?
I'm cheering for two. First, of course, Canada. And
he's got a Canadian jersey on, so that's good.
Of course. Second one is Argentina. My favorite player, yes, Messi.
Ah.
Go for Messi.
What about for you, Mohamed Zama? I mean, one of the things that's interesting is that we have, and we've been talking about this, the world is here, right? And so who are you cheering for? How do you figure out what those divided loyalties might be?
Yeah, of course, it's definitely a tough one, but, we're all here to support and cheer on Canada, of course, so go Canada today. I also happen to be a Messi fan, but beyond that, Argentina and Turkey.
There's a lot of different flags on one car.
Yeah. You bet. Come check the parking lot. You'll know which one's my car.
Do you want to give a shout out to the Simbas? They're here.
Yes, of course. So we have Paul, Jaden, and Emmanuel in the crowd. Where you put your hands up. And we also have one of our coaches, Coach Majid. And honestly, for the Simbas as well, just dream big, right? We've seen the stories of some of the national team players, like Alphonso Davies, right? So he was a refugee. He came to Canada in Edmonton, I believe, at the age of 5. And, a child at 5 years old had someone ask him that you're going to be playing in the World Cup in Canada. Probably would have never imagined it. So, there's so much hope here. There's
dream
opportunity.
Big.
Dream big, and, you'll reach your goals.
Mohazama Mataj is a former member of Afghanistan's national women's soccer team, director of the Scarborough Simbas. Saleh Al Osman started as a player at the Simbas and is now a coach. That's amazing. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We've been saying that the world is here in Canada and the world is here in Toronto, and you see that during the World Cup. You see that on a daily basis, and the international spirit that makes the city a great place also just makes it an amazing place to eat. You can find cuisine from all over the world in this city, everything from family-run home cooking to Michelin-starred fine dining. And so, you're going to be here, you're going to be out looking at football, watching the games, but you got to eat too. You could have a World Cup of soccer. You could also have a World Cup of food. Branavan Sivapathasundaram has been doing that on social media and is with me here on stage to talk about that World Cup of food. Good morning.
Good morning.
I like to eat, and I like to eat as widely as possible in this city. What is a World Cup of food?
That's a great question. So I think a World Cup of food is kind of our idea of putting countries head to head, but for the World Cup, you think of like, the big countries going head to head playing football. But as Cardinal touched on earlier, we basically have every country represented in Toronto. So my buddy and I were like, well, why don't we do a World Cup of food where we take countries from the groups that are in on the World Cup and we find a restaurant in the city, a mom and pop shop, and we eat at the different restaurants and do a World Cup with that bracket instead.
That sounds ambitious. It sounds like you're eating a lot of food.
Oh, yeah.
But it also sounds like there's some competition. It could be controversial, right? Do you weigh in on debates as to who makes the best thing, who's making the best rice dish, for example? Is it Spain? Is it Uruguay? That could get hot.
It can. And honestly, with food, everyone's really passionate about it, so we got to be a little careful. But I think the idea for us was mainly to make it as fair as possible. Do comparable dishes. So, obviously you can't compare like Belgian waffles to like Mexican tacos. It would be kind of an unfair matchup. So we tried to, for every country, find a dish, and this is the beautiful thing about Toronto, where it might be an obscure dish that someone hasn't heard of, but we probably have it represented here. So we tried to find something as comparable as possible and put those head to head. So it was a fair competition.
So you had a stew competition, and it was Brazil against Morocco?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it sounds delicious, but also,
oh my gosh,
you can imagine the Moroccans might say, "We have the stew title," and the Brazilians might say, "I'm sorry, no."
100%, and that's exactly kind of what we saw as well. Like,
so who won?
It was Brazil, but it was so close, and we were in the restaurant, and we debate ourselves like in the restaurant, because when you eat good food, you kind of just get transported, right? And when you have the stew that we had, for Brazil, it was like a fish stew called moqueca. And then for Morocco, it was like a more spice-based like lamb stew. Both were incredible. Dude,
my mouth is watering.
I know.
Continue.
I'm getting hungry thinking and talking to you about this. But when you eat things, you kind of just have to go with your gut. And just Brazil edged it out. But both were incredible dishes.
Everyone's a winner.
Honestly,
especially
and
the person
we get to
who's
eat
eating
it all here, right?
Yeah.
So,
what is it that makes this city a great food city?
I think everyone's that's been here kind of touched on it. It's just the diversity, and that's kind of what the series that we do is based on. Is just Canada, and Toronto specifically is probably one of, if not the most diverse city in the world, specifically food city. And everyone is so passionate about food that you'll have so many different restaurants representing any and almost all countries you can think of. As someone mentioned earlier, there's a Little Malta. There's restaurants from all over the world that you might not be familiar with, but you can probably find it in Toronto. And I think it'd be hard pressed to say that you could say that about a lot of different cities in the world, right?
So where do you start for people? And this is what we've been saying. There are a lot of people who are going to be arriving in Toronto for the very first time, and they might have an idea of what the city is, but they want to do what you're doing, which is tap into something that's a little bit. But that could be overwhelming. So where do you start?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think you start by talking to people. I think you start by Googling, seeing if you can find mom and pop shops of food that you've had. So if you're coming from a country that is known for one dish, try not to find that here. You probably can, but try other ethnicities that you might not have heard of, that you might not have known exist, and see if you can find a nice mom and pop shop that's ideally kind of owned by someone from that ethnicity. And then when you go there, ask the people that own the restaurant or that work there, what do they like?
Yeah.
I think it's really easy for us to stick to kind of comfort dishes, things that you're familiar with.
Because it can be intimidating. You go into somewhere, you don't know what to order, and the menu's long, and you don't know.
Yeah, and ask for recommendations, because you can say, I like this, I like this kind of style, I like spicy food, I don't like spicy food, what do you recommend? Because I think the first step in stepping outside that comfort zone is asking the questions of what would someone that's native to that place recommend?
What was the best thing that you ate in judging the Food World Cup of Toronto?
Oh, man.
And again, this could get you in trouble.
I know, I got to be careful. I mean, honestly, there's been so many incredible dishes, but the one that comes to my mind is there's a goat platter that we had. It's from a restaurant called Instant du Palais. It's an Ivoire. It's a Côte d'Ivoire. So it's an African restaurant. Here you go. And I still think about going back to this place. It was so good.
What did it taste like?
Okay, so the goat, super tender. They had this spicy sauce that was made with caramelized onions. Incredible.
Guy, you're
they
killing
had
me.
This it was just they had caramelized plantains. It was just the best combination of all things you can think of on one platter.
What is this place called? And how can I get there?
Instant du Palais. It's incredible.
You have done your job in making us all very hungry. Pran, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Pranavan Sivapathsundaram. You can find his Food World Cup series on Instagram and TikTok. His handle is A Couple Bites. All one word, A Couple Bites. You hungry now, everybody? Yes. This is a special edition of The Current. My name's Matt Galloway. We are in the atrium of the Canadian Broadcasting Centre. Glass ceiling, and you look up and it's a beautiful day in downtown Toronto, which is great because the World Cup arrives on Canadian soil today. Canada taking on Bosnia. We have a lot of different soccer fans here. We said, wear your jersey, wear your gear to this event. And so, with us in our audience is Emmanuel Duodo, president of the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario. Looking great. Flags, scarves, jerseys, all of it. Tell me about what it means to love football as a Ghanaian Canadian. What do you love about the sport?
Oh, football to us is like tradition. Yeah. We grew up with it. It unifies the community. Yeah. It brings everyone together. That's right. So when football is happening, the country is united. The people are united. That's we all converge, and we look for the excitement. That is what football is about. Yes.
Tell me about the team and how you're feeling about the team going into the World Cup.
Oh, we call them the Black Stars. And they're going to illuminate the city. That's right. It's going to happen on Wednesday. Yes. And we are excited about it. It's going to be fantastic. That team is made up of players, who play the Premier League. They are everywhere. And Ghana, this is not the first time we've been on that stage. We've been there. Yeah. And this is one we feel that we're going to win all the games to the finals.
That's right.
That is
right on through the final.
Yeah. And as we go through this, we also have, we also support Canada.
Of course.
Why so? Because we have some players who have Canadian roots, like Richie Lai, and of course Alfonso. So as we play on today, we are all behind the flag. And that is the Maple Leafs.
That's right.
We want Canada to win today, and that's going to happen. Yeah. Then on Wednesday, it's all Ghana.
There will be, and I know folks who got these tickets to go and see Ghana against Panama on Wednesday. It's going to be a crazy game, but there are a lot of people who can't get in, and so you have celebrations that are planned elsewhere outside of the stadium, right?
Yes, we do have, watch parties. And we also have our Downsview, we call it the Ghana Village.
That Ghana Village in
Ghana
Downsview.
Village. Come to the Downsview area. There will be food, there will be music, and it's going to be electric. So we invite all of you to be there. Right. If you don't have a ticket to be there, you won't mix anything at all. You'll meet wonderful people, great food, music, and it's going to be fascinating.
If you're cheering for the Black Stars, if you're cheering for Ghana, is there a chant? Is there a cheer? What do you say in the stands?
Ghana, yeah, back. We are coming. That's what it is. Yes.
They're coming and they're here. Emmanuel, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Emmanuel Duodo is president of the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, Ghana, strongly represented here in Toronto. The World Cup is here, and for my next guest, it's the end of many, many years of preparation. Don Boyle is the CEO of Exhibition Place. That's the site of what we now call Toronto Stadium. Don, thanks for being here.
Well, it's so nice to be here with you too, Matt.
It's good to have you here. This is, I keep saying, this is a big day. It's the first ever World Cup game on Canadian soil.
Yeah.
It starts at 3 p.m. Is Exhibition Place ready?
We are ready. It's years in the planning. Obviously, 2014, Councillor Grimes put a motion at City Council to put a bid in for the FIFA World Cup. Who would believe that 12 years later we're actually hosting it? But we are set. I was there this morning. Took a couple of photos, actually, of the field at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. It is pristine. It is like virgin-like soil.
There's all these stories of the person who's dealing with the grass and stuff like that. It's like...
They had 21-inch little lawn boy mowers individually cutting sections of that field. It is absolutely pristine.
Tell me about the stadium. The stadium has added 17,000 seats for this event. I remember way back in the day when TFC started, we went to some of those early TFC games and the stadium had just been put together then. You'd make so much noise and be stomping, it felt like the stadium was shaking, the bolts were loose. Yes. How does it feel now?
You know what? It's secure. So
this is important to say. The stadium
secure.
and the seats are
Yeah.
secure.
So what was interesting in Toronto as it was being built, and they're seeing it being built, the same thing took place at Downsview Park when they built the Rogers Stadium. This stadium actually was at the Paris Olympics. It's going to the LA Olympics. And so this is Arena Group. They're an international group. This is what they do for a living. The stadium's wrapped. And what I love about our stadium is that it's 45,000 people, and it's intimate. So a lot of people talk about big stadiums. Oh, you got a small stadium, it's one of the smallest ones in it. I think it's an advantage because the fact is that you're so close to the field, you can literally hear the players on the field. It's wrapped as a coliseum, so there's intimacy. And when there's 2 billion plus people watching it on TV, does it matter if there's 80,000 in the stands or 40,000 in the stands?
Yeah.
The intimacy is amazing.
What is it like, though, at the very, very tippy top of those temporary bleachers? I mean, you could see Niagara Falls, you could see Buffalo, you could off in the distance.
And you can see the entire field. Because what's interesting with FIFA is they're so specific that they actually video every seat in the design. So two years ago when we were designing the stadium, they actually classify all the viewing points, and they go from an A to a D. But you need to be within that spectrum. If you're not, redesign the stadium, and they will not accept you. And so there was many designs taking place with that stadium. So absolutely, if you're looking for tickets, they are expensive. Every seat in that stadium, whether you're the tippy top in the far right-hand corner, you've got an amazing view of the field. And that's what's so great about it. And that's where the FIFA is very specific on so many things. One of the great things they're worried about is the spectator's view. What's it going to be like?
You were very quick to say that it's secure because when Leo Messi and Inter Miami were playing here, that was kind of a test run.
That was a soft run, soft opening.
And you had some people up in the top who said that they could feel things moving around a bit like a roller coaster too.
And I watch alcohol use. Don't drink too much, right? Or you might have. I would say that because
experiences may vary.
What was amazing about it was on Instagram, people were always talking beforehand. Oh, look at those stadiums. How will it be? On Instagram, after that game and during that game, people became believers. They actually loved the stadium, and so very, very positive.
Can I ask you, there are real questions about the cost and not just the ticket cost. This is costing a whole lot of money for a city and for a country, and people wonder whether, as they say, the juice is worth the squeeze. Do you think at the end of this, we will feel like this was a worthwhile endeavor to host this World Cup?
Yeah, I think, Exhibition Place, we hold 2,100 events there, 6 million people. We're a global destination and a local gateway. But for Ontario, for Toronto, for Canada, we're on the world stage with this. I think it's something that we had to participate in. And when you really think about it, for every dollar that the government puts into these funds, taxes, jobs, the things that it comes right back to that same government. So almost 40% on when you're talking taxes coming back. And so you see that big number, you really think about actually what actually comes directly back to the government. It's a great investment.
What do you think it's going to be like this afternoon?
So it was interesting with the Guyana crowd, and it's we got every team that visits Toronto, they're playing a home game. Literally in this city. We're the most multicultural city in the world. And what's interesting is we had a suite. We don't have a suite for FIFA. They take all the suites. But we have a suite. And next door to us, when they had some of the friendly games, the visiting team would score, and they'd be cheering up and down. But they're Canadians, and they'd look and say, sorry. Sorry. And so they would cheer so much for their where they were born and where their family's from. But then it's like, oh my God, we're playing Canada. But it's great. The nice thing about it is they are home games. We have lots of visitors coming into the city. The airport, hotels have picked up greatly over the last little bit. Exhibition Place is ready. It looks phenomenal, always does, but we've actually put a little bit of extra shine on it for the FIFA World Cup, and so we're very excited to host.
The world will be watching. Don, good to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Matt.
Don Boyle, the CEO of Exhibition Place. We are celebrating soccer in Canada, and with me on stage, two of the leaders of yet another amazing soccer program, this time from the west end of the GTA, and they have brought with them some of the members of that program. Kim Brasser is founder and CEO of Future Girls Soccer United in Oakville, and Michelle Houchin is their head coach. She played on the very first women's national soccer team, and yes, the Future Girls are here with us as well. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Kim, there are a lot of different soccer academies. Tell me a little bit about what makes this one different.
So Future Girls has been in operation now for 11 years. We started with one program on a Sunday morning. And our uniqueness is there are a lot of clubs throughout the country that have all-girl populations only, but we also have all-female coaches only.
And it sounds obvious, but that matters because...
That matters because the statistic for female coaches in the sport throughout the world, for every 100 coaches, 3 of them are women. So when you think about the amount of girls that play the sport, 44% of them are females that play the sport. They might come across a female coach once or twice in their tenure, right? So imagine our girls come onto the field, they see female coaches, they see female business owners, they see female teammates, and then they think, oh, this sport is for me.
Yeah.
And they don't lose that. They feel it, they see it.
Nice.
So that is what makes us extremely unique.
Yeah.
Extremely unique, yeah.
You are one of those coaches, Michelle.
I am one of those coaches.
And there was like a reunion earlier because you used to coach Diana Matheson.
Yes, indeed.
Did you know back then that she was that great? She was at the Oakville Soccer Club.
She just had a lot of fire in her. Yes, full of a lot of energy. And every time she was on the ball, it was just excitement to watch her play.
Pick up from what Kim said. Why do you think it's important for young girls to see you and see others that can kind of inspire them?
Well, the process is that they can see and know that whatever they put out there, they can do it. And when they see another female at that level, to get to that next level. So it's very important and unique.
Tell me more about, it's not just teaching the game. Tell me more about the philosophy of this club and what it is, the values that you're trying to instill as a coach in these players.
So I can even see some of these little girls that started with us. When they came to us, they wouldn't speak. They would put their head down. And Coach Michelle is very adamant that when she's having a conversation with you, look us in the eye. Yeah. You know, we're equals, right? This little girl here, Miss McKenna, wouldn't even look at us. We're just like, and she came to us, I think, 3 years. Now she's a leader. She's vocal. She's proud. She's competent. And I bet ask any parent, their marks in school have gone this way since coming on board with us. And that for us, when you look at our website, we want to make females better athletes, better kids on and off the field. And so we love when they win. We love when they develop as soccer players. But when we see kids who have started with us who could barely look at us and then they leave with confidence, that is everything for us.
Coach Michelle, you're nodding as she says that. Tell me a little bit more about those values that you're trying to drive into these kids.
It's important because they can know that whatever they do within being that person out there in society, being that strong individual, looking at the opportunities of one day to be an entrepreneur, you know, a president, lawyer, doctors, whatever they wish to do. But the values of what they bring to themselves is that strong ability of a professional young athlete, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
What have you seen change in these girls that you've been coaching, Michelle?
Their growth.
They're sitting here in front of you.
Their growth, their problem solving. You know, they figure themselves out. They're a team. You know, it's a good sisterhood of bonding, which is excellent for them.
I would say the way they carry themselves with pride, the way they carry themselves with professionalism, and they expect, like we have little U8, so imagine a little 7-year-old looking up at these 11 and 12-year-olds. They mentor these little 7-year-olds and teach them, tuck in your shirt, pay attention to the coach, make sure you have your uniform packed. So it just instills all the way down. And so it's a wonderful little community of mentors helping these little tiny ones. So we're their mentors, but they're a little 7-year-old mentors. And so that whole pathway, it's a wonderful little community.
What do we need broadly to invest more in programs like that? Because we keep talking about building the grassroots.
Yeah.
Right? We're speaking about the World Cup and that end result, but you need to build that foundation to get those young players to that stage. So what do we need in this country?
So Diana touched on it as well, and I think the analogy is the World Cup is the fuel in this country, but grassroots soccer is the engine that is going to allow this to transcend into something bigger. And it's nice that we have national associations like CSA, and then we have the provincial ones, but the money that is sent to these organizations has got to trickle down to a little soccer club in Fergus that might have a really motivated female coach that wants to help, right? And we have to figure out a way to get these little small towns, because in a little small town is maybe the best soccer player Canada's ever going to produce. But we have to figure out how at the grassroots level do we get facilities. Like in Canada, the indoor season is 31 weeks of the year. Yeah. And there are not nearly enough indoor facilities.
Building one of those domes is expensive. Or what have you, right?
The turf alone is $80,000.
Yeah.
Don't even get started on access to it if you're not a big club with lots of money. You don't have connections. You can't get into them, right? So we're blessed. We are affiliated with the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre, the pro lacrosse team, so we don't have those barriers. But if you're a club with well-intentioned aspirations to develop little players and you can't get access to facilities, how can you run you around? You can't. So that the whole the transcendence of funds have got to get down to the level where little clubs, like the little one we just heard of from Scarborough, we started the same way, right? But they have to have the funds accessible to them to facilitate the growth, to say to a little female coach, you don't have to volunteer. Your time is important. Let us pay you. Like that, we pay every one of our coaches since the day we've opened our doors.
Good for you.
Because female time is valuable.
Yeah.
It is valuable.
Michelle, just quickly, what do you see as the possible impact of this World Cup? What's it going to do to this sport in this country?
The excitement with regards to these athletes now, or these young people seeing class athletes out there providing everything for their countries, which is important. So
fabulous.
Very excited.
Congratulations to you, and congratulations to these young women who are here as part of a program
ladies.
as well. Thank you all for being here. Kim Brasser, the founder and CEO of Future Girls Soccer United in Oakville, Ontario. Michelle Houchin is their head coach. He played on the very first women's national soccer team back in 1986. And a group of those young players were with us in their gear on stage. That is the current for this Friday. It is the opening day in this country of the World Cup. Canada taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina a little bit later on. To take us out, Shad is back. Who are you cheering for? You were like Pan-African, but is there one team?
I get very Pan-African during the World Cup, but of course Canada being the World Cup is so exciting. So I'm cheering for great soccer. I'm cheering for fun, safe time in the city, and any team I'm affiliated with, even vaguely.
And you're going to be involved in other World Cup festivities next week, right?
Yeah, playing FIFA Fan Fest on June 17th. Looking forward to that. Whole collection of Canadian talent popping up here in Vancouver. It's going to be amazing.
What do you hope is going to happen in this city over the course of the next month or so? We were saying earlier that in some ways we need a party like this. The news, there's a big black cloud in some ways over a lot of our heads, and people are looking for something, right?
Nothing brings people together like sport. And I touched on this a little bit earlier, but as much as music's been an important part of my life, I think the greatest lessons I've learned have been through sports. I've been playing together, going through ups and downs, watching myself get better at something. So yeah, I hope all of that gets absorbed, plus just a great time of people getting together.
Fabulous. It's been so great that people would come here to get together with us. I want to thank everybody who's in the audience for coming out this morning. Big up. We've had incredible guests here as well. Thank you for sharing their passion for the beautiful game, and enjoy this afternoon and enjoy this month. It's a special moment for this country. My name's Matt Galloway. This is a special edition of The Current, live from the Barber From Atrium in CBC HQ. Thanks for listening. To take us out, here's Shad. Keep going, and don't forget.
Yes. When I'm on, it's like somebody brought the palm trees in, calm breezing. Feels like a Tahitian spa treatment. It's beyond reason. These are not even songs leaking off of the album. This is off season. This is show stopping, go talking. Even though a poll stopped and the skill is still so shocking. On my Run DMC, they're more TMZ. I'm in the GMC, touring the DMV. Just me and T, then we check in the B&B. Except when I'm in the house, it's a B&E. Smash TNT, blast CNC, factory of music, got more tracks than BMG. My only message is keep going and don't forget. I don't just flex to show off, it's how I show respect for the culture, for the rapping and jazz lovers. In these days of mass covers and last suppers, for the warriors, black mothers and splash brothers, and anybody that's passed up a fast buck for a deep, meaningful reason and seen their cash suffer. No upper class suburbs, but my cupboards have enough. Your boy Shad, all capital letters, on point. Steve, national treasure, the passion's forever. Yeah, all my people, we keep going and don't forget. FIFA fans in the stands, keep going and don't forget. Yeah, across the lands, we keep going. Feeling sorta like Jordan in the flu game, shooting blue flames through acute pain. The streets need a new lane. The heat's made the mood strange. Youth need complete revolution, not just loose change. Their pets off leash while we reside in cages, deprived of wages, no bread. I ain't talking about diet crazes, hiding quiet rage, violence in the climate, lives engulfed in a silent blaze. I take time with it. Their heart's fine with it just being fine, but mine isn't. Even the sky's limited far as going higher, but the mind isn't, and the divine isn't. Every rhyme, it's the same message. Just keep going and don't forget. I don't just flex to show off, it's how I show respect. Bruno Mars and Cardi B, yo, I wrote the text with the most finesse. Halal, the goat is blessed. The flows is next level and the quotes is fresh. Yes, yes. Look, my only message is keep going and don't forget. Show respect. We keep going and don't forget.
This has been The Current Podcast. You can hear our show Monday to Friday on CBC Radio 1 at 8:30 a.m. in all time zones. Or you can also listen online at cbc.ca/thecurrent or on the CBC Listen app or wherever you get your podcasts. My name is Matt Galloway. Thanks for listening.